to honor Jesus Christ. It's a sin to get that particular thing twisted in thought process. That's where the sin lies. And sin being that calling it things like I just aforementioned. But for someone to recognize Jesus as the Son of God, the Savior, and that he was born, that is not a sin. As we have to understand to rightly divide the word and point out what's error, what's sin, and what is correct to say from the mouth of a human. Saying right things does not make us saved. Being baptized and added to the Lord's church and then saying right things will make us saved and continue to preserve our salvation. So we want to say the message, call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people. Call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people. A lot of times when we look at that, our minds gravitate like a magnet to the Jew. That's what they were talking about. No. See, saints, we have to understand being grafted in by the word of God, as the Roman letter talks about, is inclusive of all those who are saved, his people. So that statement isn't just referring to the Jew only, that's referring to whoever wants to be his people. I'm going to validate that before we go into the text. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 2. This is a one-word statement made to both the Jew and to the Gentile, showing that God has only one people. We have to be ever so cautious as to not get this thing twisted, because there are many to this day that are embattled and in debate over the people of the physical land, Israel, or the Jews that belong to the Lord, and they are not. The Jews that belong to the Lord today are those who are inwardly a Jew, as Romans chapter 2 says. And so that would be both the individual who tries to lay claim to being a blood-born Jew and the one who is a Gentile. Inwardly, this individual must be a Jew. And this is who the Lord is speaking about when he is in reference in the book of Revelation. Those that say they are Jews and they're not. He's talking spiritual. And you know, when we get excited, we say, you know, why is it as soon as someone says something is spiritual, and then when the denominational world says it's spiritual, you guys say it's not? Because it's not spiritual. Spiritual just doesn't mean invisible, because the devil is invisible. When we're speaking of Christianity, we're talking about spiritually right. And that needs to be read. Men are getting away from the Bible so fast, you don't even need to bring the NIV in. Just don't read the King James. They'll have a nice big one right up there and just talk all day and never read from it, especially their point that they're going to make. And for some reason, the saints of God have accepted it. And they would like all of us to accept it. But at the end, brethren, whether you die or not is irrelevant. We will be before the judgment. And we will be there alone. And we had better know exactly. We had better be able to walk up and say, you're Jesus. I know you. Because if we have to go, who are you? We're not getting in. So he says in 1 Peter 2 and in verse 5, you also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house. Now here goes the children of God. This point, those who are in paradise will be added to this group. If the Lord would have came at this time, lifted up, and you and I are going to be joined to this group, since he didn't come then. And it's only one church. One. And if we alter the things that the Lord say don't alter, I'm very specific with that, we're not getting in. He doesn't owe us that. God owes no man anything. He has paid us love. He is actually paid up in love. We're the ones who owe love. We'll forever owe love. But isn't it amazing? God is paid up in full in love. He owes no more love. He's paid up in full. Only he can do that. The rest of us are in debt to love one another forever. He says in the holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Jesus Christ. That means only this group, just as with Aaron, only Aaron and the priests that were his children could offer up physical sacrifices unto God. And only the high priest could go into the holiest of holies. Here we have a beautiful example of we being priests offering up spiritual sacrifices unto God. And guess who is the high priest? Jesus, who has already gone into the holiest of holies in heaven and offered up the sacrifice that removes sins forever. Man, this is so easy, isn't it, saints? Amen. This is so beautiful. Here the priest start down there offering up spiritual sacrifice. The holiest of holies has gone up into the holiest of holies and offered up the one-time sacrifice, not like the Levitical priest, high priest would do. How can you beat that debate? You can't. When did the Philistine, when was he allowed to do that? Even the Pharisees could not go into the temple and offer a sacrifice because they weren't of the priesthood. Isn't that amazing? As powerful as they were. Scribes couldn't do it. Only the priests. So that's only us. Now that's pretty solid. So it says, verse 6, wherefore also it is contained in the scripture. Behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious. So I elected him, he's precious. And he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. So when you find people confounded on what to do in the church, to carry out the works, to live their lives, to have to go to other sources for help instead of the saints of God, they're confounded because they don't believe. So I say, well, they're confused. Yeah, confusion is confounded. See, we like to think that, everybody gets confused. We like to really give ourselves a pass card when we were confused and lost, as if it was someone else's fault other than us. But it was our choice. Verse 7, unto you therefore which believe, he is precious. See, he's not precious to the rest, but unto them which be disobedient. Now, if I'm a denominational believer, how can he possibly be precious to me? If he's so precious, why don't I protect what he said and keep it in my heart? Because he's not precious to me if I'm in the denominational world. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same as the head of the corner. No denominational building has Christ as a cornerstone. Not a one. And many churches of Christ have hewn him out and busted him up and grinded him to powder and sprinkled him all over their river of lies. Yes, they have. Verse 8, a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. Even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, there's a word twice, whereunto also they were appointed. Appointed by who? Did the Lord make them that way? No, nay, friend. They are appointed because he knew they were going to be that way, so damnation is awaiting them. God makes no one do anything concerning obedience or disobedience. No one. Verse 9, but you are a chosen generation. I haven't seen him mention two people yet. Two groups. A royal priesthood. Everything is singular. Not priesthoods. And holy nation, not nation. See, it's one. You know what I mean? Many nations flow into it, but it's only one. A peculiar people, that you should show forth the praise of him. Here's the purpose. Who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Now this is for the Jew too, verse 10. I love this. Man, I love this what Peter wrote. And he's a Jew. Which in time past were not a people. That's the Jew too. Isn't that enough? Because we forgot that the Lord isn't a liar like we have been on the earth, some of us. And when he said, when you name your baby, Hosea, which we studied a few days ago, name this one a specific name, because you're not my people no more. That's what he meant that. He never changed it. They became a group to be protected until the Reformation period. They are not here. That's why when the son comes, oh, here's a son. Let's kill him. Just like the parable says. And we'll take over the vineyard. The purpose for destroying Jesus, according to the parable, which cannot be a lie, is to take over the kingdom. But Daniel made a prophecy. He said, it shall not be left unto others. So the Lord says, I'm giving it to the little flock. We studied that a few weeks ago, which ties into this. Give it to the little flock. Don't worry about the little flock. It's yours already. And if you and I, my dear brethren, and whoever listen, think for a split second that you can pray or get somebody in, even yourself, not being attached to the little flock, sad you are. Not getting in, brethren. Can't get prayed in. Even Jesus came. Now that's something Jesus cannot pray for a sinner to be saved if you have not obeyed. Wow. Because it is wrong. Brethren, truth is not attempted to be taught by the Father. It is all he knows. Truth was not attempted to be obeyed by Jesus. It is all he chose. You and I have to make that choice. He says, but now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. See, brethren, the NOW is critical in speech. Because before it's nothing, and now it means everything. Now you and I got mercy. Before, what you running on? Grace. Borrowed time. People used to say that when people were dying, he's living on borrowed time. It's almost out the door. Just a matter of time. And now we have obtained mercy. Now that we understand, look at this mentality, how the transition, everyone is a spiritual Jew that is in the church. This language is ludicrous if that doesn't mean that. Look at verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles. Wait a minute, Peter, you talking to Gentiles? Now he's talking spiritual. See, brethren, this is what it means to speak spiritual. This is spiritual Gentiles that are lost watching spiritual Gentiles that are saved. So this outside group, they're spiritual lost, but they are referred to as carnal. So this carnal Gentile says, be careful how you perform in front of the Gentile. See, now all the lost have been called Gentile because all the saved are Jews. See, we understand that. And if we didn't, well, we know now. He says that whereas they speak evil, as you as evildoers, they may be your good work, made by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation. See, brethren, there's going to be a day that visitation is going to be made. A coming to see you. And it's almost like Jesus is not coming back and the whole story is a sham. That's what the people said in Peter. He's going to address that. It's like, it's been a long time. Everybody gets flipped out, man, on this birth. That is far more hoopla for the birth than there will ever be for the remembrance, even of the thought of remembering the Easter thought. Even remember Passover that they think about. You see a couple of crosses here and there, somebody yard, a couple of bunnies, some eggs. Man, this town is decked out and on shutdown, no matter what day Christmas is. It's only like that because Easter happened to fall on Sunday. Everything pretty well shut down anyway. It could be Friday, one of the busiest and most powerful days, on Monday, one of the most hated days. If it's Christmas, we'll find this Monday shut down. You go pull on the door, clank, 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 clank. That's it. And there's some people don't even put no sound because they'll let you know. You should know he's going to close on Christmas. But we have to understand that's because Christmas, the birth of Christ, the Christ Mass, what they're talking about, brings hope. You know, you hear people say all the time, let's turn back to Luke 2. You hear people say all the time, and I know you do, saints, oh, I wish I was 25 again. Even the 25-year-old says, I wish I was 12 again. Yeah, back at home and not married anymore. With my dad sitting on his lap, watching TV and having fun. Because this world is rough. Oh, I wish I could start over again. I wouldn't have played football because I busted up my knees. I would have went on and ran track, and then I know I would have made plenty of money with endorsements, and I wouldn't be in this deadhead job I've got now. But you can't go back. But when you were there, it was hope. All was before you. It was this paradise, green with water flowing, bright skies, not a cloud nowhere. That's why the Christ Mass is looked at so different. The Easter part, even though they speak of a sorrow and they hope, deep down in their mind, they know, nah, man, I don't even know what this stuff means. Because a lot of them are saying, how did he die anyway and raise up again? If the apostles knew him just as well as you know me and I know you, and they're looking at him going up on a car looking the same way, and at least two of them are going, man, is that really him? You know for a fact the rest of us are going to struggle if we are not sound in the faith at looking at the true image of Christ, seeing how it can be distorted at any time. What if Jesus' face kept changing colors and hair texture and body styles? 1 minute he's thick, next minute he's skinny. That means he's short, he's talking this as he's walking and talking. Then he get on the planet, man, wait a minute, I can't remember what he looked like. But the same consistent look. We have to understand there's no excuse to go for the Lord and it won't be accepted. I'll bring it to us. It's just so much confusion today in the world, so many different churches. There's so many different people who gets confused on going home with the wrong woman. Even guys who are married to twins or women who are married to twins, they know they're twin. And they've learned long ago, you better know, because they might try to play a game, or I might make a mistake one day and say something incorrect to the wrong person. So we need to understand, how can you possibly forget what the church looked like? How? And how can we possibly misunderstand why this particular day is observed or what's coming up in an incorrect way? Because I'm not a part of this child, Jesus. He's not in me. So I'm going to always be off-centered on what I should say and what I should do. Look at verse 1, chapter 2. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. Giving good background, Luke wants us to know. And he's showing the time around about. It's pretty easy for people that would read this go, yeah, I remember. You see guys that were back then, they go, yeah, I remember that time. Yeah. I remember hearing about that old Augustus. He was something else, Just like you go, I remember that time. Yeah, LBJ Lyndon Baines Johnson was in office. Yeah, that's why we got those pretty flowers all over there. Yeah. See? That's not like somebody going, who? Now, if you're around this age, who? It's people like us that are not attached to this child Jesus. We will debate almost every line in it, and we'll be in the church. You can read a line in the Bible, and you will have gospel preachers making a fool of themselves, elders, deacons, and Bible teachers as well, arguing points that are so mute and meaningless, it frustrates you. You go, what is he even asking this nonsense for anyway? It has nothing to do with the subject, because he's not attached to the child Jesus. That's the reason why. So he says in verse 3, and all went to be taxed, every one to his own city. So if you were somewhere else and you were in the wrong city, knowing that they chop folks up like liver, you got on a donkey or caught a donkey or bought one and said, man, I got to get back because I got to pay my taxes. It's like we get excited around April, March, whenever the deadline is. They got excited. We get excited. We might lose a few dollars. They got excited because people will get killed behind this. You have to pay this money. They were for real. Verse 4, and Joseph also went up from Galilee, see, that's where out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, into the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David. I remember Keith talked about this one day, and he had made a point. And I was like, yeah, man, that's right. Yeah, that's how we know how Joseph has a right to the throne. He's of the house of David. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. Now remember, he still haven't touched this woman. You know what's sad about men who get themselves caught up in an argumentative debate that Joseph wasn't really married to Mary when he was trying to put her away, because see, they don't want to give you an opportunity to live again after divorce. I just want to know, whose baby is this right now, and how did he get married just because the woman's stomach is swollen? He still haven't, watch this, saints. I love this part, praise the Lord. He still haven't touched her because he can't have sex with her. Not because she's pregnant, not because, don't touch her till she had his baby. He's already been informed. Now wait. Not because he's afraid to hurt her because she's pregnant. No, because this is holiness here. Don't touch your hands on her. Help her, do whatever, but not for sexual purposes. That makes Jesus a bastard child. Y'all know that, right? A bastard, no daddy child. Technically, spiritually, and morally. He was not my brother in Christ because they are married. Amen. Brethren, hold that forever so you can help people live again. You can help people live again. Some of the churches of Christ are so raggedy, wouldn't even walk in them to say hi. Telling a person you can't live no more after divorce. Sit on the back seat, give your money. The crook will take the money any day. Basically, tell you you're not going to heaven. You've been divorced and you remarried. You and your wife and your children. I don't care how cute they are. They got some brothers now to tell you that. Because you can be is a good bench warming member. They'll tell you that. And if you hit the door, they got so much money in their pockets, crooked as they are, they can care less where you go. I'm telling you, brother, I've seen brethren say that before many men, publicly. Basically, be a good bitch warming member. You wouldn't believe me if I told you he said it. I know you wouldn't because you have such a high regard for the man. But I'm telling you, he said it. Nevertheless, I'll say some of you may not believe me. Some of you have seen crooks over your lifespan, and you know men can be really evil and look real good. Nevertheless, this man got a swole-bellied woman here. I had sex with her. And a figment in his imagination, somebody would say, told him, this is the child of the... How you know he wasn't dreaming and Mary got an old man on the side, a sugar dad on the side? How you know he wasn't dreaming? And there's just another dream because Joseph is a good man. He's holy. And he knows. How can a guy believe a figment in his mind, some would say, and we can't even believe the Holy Bible wrote? We want to boast of the holiness of Mary. All this in the Word. Didn't know the lady, never saw her. Probably Mary could have been a jighead, but because the book said she was holy, Joseph could have made a star so he could get rich and people would honor him. Yeah, that's my boy. But because the book said that's not what was in his mind, we believe. But the other stuff we take out. This story is a joke if you don't believe the rest of the Bible. The whole thing is just comical. I remember one guy told me, that's a nice little story. I told him about Noah. He said, it's a nice little story. I said, you wish you had believed it though at the judgment. I told him just like that. I said, you wish you had believed it when you come to the judgment. Believe that. So I have to tell him that so when he dies, my hands are squeaky clean of his blood. Just can't walk off and leave him like that. Because it's not a nice little story. It was the truth from God. So therefore we see, great with child, Mary swole, about to have this baby. Verse 6, and it was so that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth a firstborn son. I love that. Another thorn in the Catholic flesh. Firstborn son. Not only. See, if it said her firstborn only begotten son, they could run with that Mary's fellow verse. Can't. You turn like firstborn unless you don't know how to write. And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. No room. It wasn't because nobody didn't like. It wasn't because nobody didn't like the Jews, didn't like it. Look, you go right now to this hotel and let it be full. They'll tell you we have no vacancy. And don't get out in time. There will be a nice shiny car with men getting out with weaponry to ask you to leave in a more unpleasant way. Because there's no vacancy. They're trying to act like, man, Joseph wasn't broke. He going out there to pay taxes. Nobody broke. Trying to make Jesus broke. He's a man, a nice job. Carpentry, taking care of this woman. Holy man. No, righteous. You ain't got to come look for him. They have to send an IRS to go looking for him by way of Caesar. I'm walking my tax. I'm doing what the Lord say. To an enemy nation that's no good, not good enough for to even say anything to the Jews, yet got to pay the taxes. So he says here, as Luke writes, Verse 8, and there were in the same country shepherds abide in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. Why pick these shepherds? No, you just pick these shepherds. There's something connecting with them and God. That thing's like, okay, I'm going to talk to this group right here. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were so afraid. And the angel said to them, fear not. Because, well, I know you're scared. Because men get scared if you see us with this grand entrance. I know you're nervous. It says, fear not. For behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. So that's another thing. All people. See, everybody gets to hear the good tidings. That's why there's such great hope. The Christmas time, the Christ man, oh, joy to the world. Everybody's happy. It's the most wonderful time. Everybody's happy, hugging. Now, as soon as it's over, it's going to be back to where it was. Because there's no spiritual hope given. Just acknowledging Jesus is born. You got to obey what he said. Saints of God, we happy every day. See, every day we happy. Because we got him in us. Joy to the world every day, morning, noon, and night. I hope for those that are righteous. I hope we believe that still. And so he says that, for unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. He is the anointed. I had a guy got angry because of the term Christ. He kept bashing Christ. That just means the Lord. I said Jesus just means Jesus. Joshua. Stop talking about there's no J. I don't care whatever. Well, then whatever Joshua's name was, that's what Jesus' name is. Whatever. J-less or with a J is whatever Joshua. It's a common every. They had one of the guys that Paul was writing about named Jesus. It's just a common name. Put the two together. Jesus the Christ, the Son of God. Okay, now we got to add these attributes. Okay, now we know what you're talking about. Now we know what you're talking about. And so, in this particular light, he says, and this shall be a sign to you. That's what they're to look for. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying on the manger. See, these are righteous men. If they were like Nabal, somebody would go, man, that's stupid. There's a whole bunch of babies wrapped in clothes like that. See, but they're righteous. Saints. Paul tells Timothy, to him that is pure, all things are pure. Saints, when you find yourself, if you say you're attached to the child Jesus, when you see something, your mind immediately goes to evil. Not forewarned of like it could appear to be evil. I mean like stuff you see. You just go two people talking. Look at them. Probably not married each other. Rendezvous. I'm just saying you may say that. Bite your tongue. Draw back. Because see, now all things are pure to you. I've done it before. You see people say, man, I'm saying, no, I don't think that way. I don't think that way. You know? Sometimes you see two women run across the street holding hands. Women do that all the time. Grown women. Probably gay. See, why was it wrong? Because all things aren't pure to me. You have to fix that. You have to fix that. See a guy grab another guy, hug him, and kiss him on the side. That's that green. Say, you see those homosexuals? What? All things are not pure to you. All things are not pure to you. I know why he said that. All things are not pure to you. Let it be known that you are so gullible, somebody has to come up and tell you what's going on. Because that's how the pure think. All things are pure. Don't listen to music. Wait a minute. A specific kind of music. Don't watch TV. Wait a minute. Certain program. Only sinners go to the movies. Hold on. Certain types of movies. It's R-rated movies. Got to be nasty. Not if it's violent. Because they don't want children to see violence. I remember I saw my first movie where there was no nakedness. And it says with an R that when I had to change no channel. I said, oh, for violence. I got it. Because I said, why was it rated R? For violence. Okay. See, to a person's pure, he looks or she looks at a thing first to investigate. I had someone ask me one time, what about women's intuition? That's no such thing in the Bible. That's an old wives' fable. Old wives' tale. Women don't have any intuition over man. Who said that? Jesus? I said in the Bible. Old wives' tales. I remember I used to believe it and would tell them. And women got intuition. Oh, man. Until I realized that's not in the Bible. You know how beautiful it is to be in the church? Is to be able to speak and not worry about what you said, because you know, you think a little bit before you speak and say it. Because I'm attached to the Holy Child Jesus. Why? Because he saved me. That's what he came for. That's how you have to think. That's how we should think. That's how all people should think that are saved. And so therefore he says in verse number 13, and suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts praising God. And suddenly, say, like, first angels came down, the light shine around, they give their speech, and then all of a sudden they're looking, and then man, just woof, a host just appears. It's not aliens. Some people will say this is alien. I had a relative that said Jesus was an alien. One of my brothers had to correct him on that, but you know, it's not an alien. But he thought Jesus was an alien. And you know, people floating in the air, moving quickly. Well, it must be aliens, but that's not true. It's made up nonsense. There are no aliens, by the way. All life is on earth. There's no other beings created. Whoever says it is a liar, and the truth is not in him. I mean, how you know? Because the Bible says so. That's why. It didn't say it wasn't. It also didn't say that there were no chickens that could speak Greek. But do chickens talk? So I haven't seen nowhere in Scripture where it said no chickens speak Greek. Did you say in the Bible? See, that's how you handle a stupid statement like it didn't say it wasn't aliens. It didn't say it wasn't chickens that speak Greek. I mean real chickens that walk on the ground. But do chickens talk? No. See, that's how you have to do some things, brethren. Because at some point you have to realize these people, and the person that said it was very intelligent and had a vehicle that I could have bought 3 cars with the price of the vehicle. Very intelligent. But lost on understanding scriptures. It says, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill to all men. So that's the idea. This is the hope. Well, what type of peace it brings? Jesus, okay, I didn't bring peace. What peace talking about? Then he says, my peace I give you. Well, wait a minute, Jesus, are you confused? No, I didn't bring peace between Israel fighting Rome. I didn't bring no peace between the Hittites still hating the Egyptians. I didn't bring no peace between you and your grandma because you owe her $300. I brought a peace within to let you know. I mean, it's all that nonsense. You're safe with me if you walk upright. Now go tell others. That's the kind of peace the Lord brings. And this is the peace they're wishing for. Because Jesus said, what I'm bringing, it starts trouble in the house. So the angels running game down? No, they're saying the same type of peace that Jesus says, I'll leave you with. When he talks to the disciples, they are talking about that peace. Because that is Jesus is going to catch more drama from his people than he can bargain for. Because they're not looking for the peace that hugging and that type of thing and eating together. The angelic hosts are looking for the peace in men to be hoped for, spiritual peace. Spiritual peace. So he says, and it came to pass as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, let us now go even unto Bethlehem and see this thing which has come to pass, which the Lord had made known unto us. And see, now you know, this is amazing. This was the prophet said it would be in Bethlehem. One day the people challenged Jesus. And, you know, one guy said, well, you know, isn't the Christ supposed to be born in Bethlehem? And they just bail and walk off. Nobody stops and go, hey, I have a question, master. Well, you born in Bethlehem. And you know what? God knew they hate him so. All they needed was a reason to walk off. God knew it's not going to be no danger. Nobody going to ask a question because they don't like him anyway. I remember when he was little. Then your cousin say he from now. Oh, yeah, man, let's go. We don't like him anyway. That's all we needed was a reason. See, when people are through with you, all they need is a reason. You're too loud. You're too ugly. Your hair's too bald. Your hair's too long. I don't like you. Your skin's too dark. Your skin's too light. Your eyes look different. You know, I don't like you. You know, you got a new car. You must be a crook. You're broke. You must be evil. Because I don't like you anyway. You know. And this is what they're going to do to the Christ child. And they do it to the saints that are in his house as well. They judge. Why? Because they do not like the master. Therefore, they cannot develop a relationship with the children. Because they're too peculiar. look too much like this. You know, the more you look like Jesus, the more you're disliked. You know, if you've ever been associated with bad breakups in families, divorces that are horrible, awful divorces, the child that looks the most like the other parent will catch it if you aren't careful. Look at that face, just like his old stupid daddy. That's why I'm glad I got rid of him. Look at her, look at her, look at her, just like a mama. Just crazy, probably won't be crazy like a mama too. So the more you look like the more you look like this, look at her. Probably come over to tell us something about the Bible. You know, that was a comedy show a homeless guy. It was so funny, I made a comment. My family, they allowed me to make the comment because it was just a show. I wasn't trying to make a big deal, but then nobody get mad because I made the comment. But it's comical, but the guy says, when he comes to the homeless guy, "You're not going to talk to me about God, are you?" And he said, "No, man, I'm straight, you know." See? And I'm like, and I laughed, I said, "That's why you're on the street now. That's why you need to stay on the bench, and when it get cold, just shiver. Because if you're too stupid to understand you on that bench for a reason, then yeah, don't talk about God." I said, what about Lazarus? Lazarus was gently brought by a group of people that love him and placed at a rich man's gate. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to get paid. The dogs came and licked his sores. And every day, gently lifted up and brought back. Poor, he didn't say he was homeless. Broke. Sore, sick. See, we need to understand, let's gotta get the thing right now. Get the thing right. Don't speak unless we speak from God's viewpoint. Look at a thing and then let's say what God says about it. People go through ups and downs in life. They have trials and tribulations. But when you find somebody, if you'd have walked up to Lazarus and say, "Before I give you money, I want to tell you something about the Lord," he'd have said, "Say on, friend. Sit down here by me." Or something to that effect. I can't imagine Lazarus going, "You never talk to me about God, are you?" Oh, Lord, help us, Jesus. But you say, why you make a big deal of that? Because there are people that are really like that. They like that. You can't convince them at all because you're not attached to the one who would save the people. That's why your mind is twisted. I'm surprised that you still living this long, let alone don't have nothing. Because you don't think like a person who believes that there is a creator and he sees your state of being. So nevertheless, he says here, as we continue to read further, that a magnificent thing has happened, and they're going to go to Bethlehem. And verse 16, and they made haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the same which was told them concerning the child. So they saw and said, well, look, this is it. So they go and immediately start teaching. You know, you can have people that have been in the church for a long time. They just can't get the message right. They got the message. I'm sure they didn't go, it's 4 or 5 children were born today. At least I saw at least 2, possibly 3. And they're going to say the word. Nobody gets a story twisted like that. They go and tell the exact story of a child. How do we get more than one church, but they didn't get more than one child out the story? How is that possible? Verse number 18, and all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. He did not appear to the priests. He didn't appear to the high priest. Isn't that amazing? He didn't appear to the Pharisees, the Herodians, to some shepherds in a field. See, saints, the Lord doesn't do like you and I. He doesn't make the people who are supposed to be leaders of his kingdom crooked. They just become that way. So he's got to go over and get this guy who's a ditch digger, get this guy who's a lawyer. He got to go over and get this lady who's a school teacher, or get this other lady who's a nurse. And he has to encourage these hearts to start saying something to those who maybe just need encouragement that they can do something different. See, if you're going to be attached and have the hope and the joy of Jesus was born, has he been reborn in us? Has he come alive in us? See, he has to come alive in us. He has to rise up like the sun. He has to be alive in us. He has to be. his birth on that day must come to fruition in your spirit. Peter says, like a sun rising, until it gets bright, bright, bright in the house. You the house. He says, we're going to shine a light in. I'm going to tell you some words. Nevertheless, they are for you and I. He says in verse 19, but Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. People want to make Mary like she regularly talked to the Lord, like he would talk to her like Moses. That's not how Mary was. The pondered thing, kept thinking, my goodness, what's some powerful things being said. There's a little baby. Shepherds coming out of nowhere, guys running, okay, let's go preach about it. This is a child, man. He said, well, I know she was already told. Yeah, she was told some things, but not all things. And she makes a beautiful statement about the Lord and glorifies God. But Mary is just a believer that loves God. She is not Jesus Christ. Verse 20, and the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen, and it was told unto them, as it was told unto them. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcision of the child, his name was called Jesus, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. So they already said his name going to be Jesus. Well, he's going to save his people. Verse 22, and when the days of purification according to the law of Moses were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord. So they got to bring him to Jerusalem. Everything they did the physical thing. Time to go pay tax. Okay. Joseph go, man, I'm trying to figure out. Man, look, I'm just going to lie. I'm going to fill some paperwork and say, I've worked in 8 years for paying taxes. Honest guy. Now it's time. The law of purification happened. Now it's time to go to the temple. He did the physical right. He did the spiritual. Some people can't get both right. They do the physical right all day. Oh, he's a great guy on his job. Oh, he'll do anything for you. He'll give you the shirt off his back. But he cusses out saints. Isn't that amazing? He can't stand the elders. He can't stand the elders. A bunch of old fuddy-duddies. Oh, but he's glorious everywhere else. Isn't that amazing? Or they'd be the other way. He's holy at church. He 2 feet above the ass. He floats through the congregation, but he'll cuss you out at the job. He'll get himself caught up in some of the things these high-level guys got up in, saying wrong things to women at work. And now, I have said, and I know you have too, told your children, when you go on a job, do your job, watch what you say to people, especially the opposite sex. But some guys just don't get it. They say things improperly to women, usually to women, because of this fact. They're not attached to the Holy Child Jesus, and they're not a part of the saved people. That's why they do this. They got plenty of money, some of them. But you have to understand, they know who to do things to. Men know who to do things to. They know who to do things to. Because if they tell you, Bob, see that girl there? Don't say nothing crazy to her about her body. And don't pinch on her. She will blow your head off. She got a gun under her car seat, and she got a license for the one in her purse, and she got one in her boot. I saw her before. So I'm telling you, she's not scared to go to jail either. I'm telling you, do what you want. He ain't gonna want, how you doing, Miss So-and-so? Have a great day. He's not gonna, because they already know. He'll been informed. Amen. But some men just don't understand or respect. They're not going to be saved. You got preachers like that, elders, deacons, Bible teachers, all over the brotherhood. Yeah, you got women like that too. They'll tell you some things too. I can get you a good position in this church. What? Lost your mind, sister. And Lord, I should call you sister anymore. Amen. Nevertheless, let's see where we wrap up verse 22. He says, I'm in the days of purification. So he goes down, verse 23, as it is written in the law of the Lord, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy to the Lord. How can Joseph do this? Man, Joseph has been through a lot of stuff. How can he dreams, woman pregnant, he haven't even touched her. How does he keep balance? Paying taxes, purification not done. Okay, let's go down here to Jerusalem, Why do you go, man, I'm tired of the law, man. I'm tired to go no drug. I gotta go make some. I gotta build some stuff, man. How we gonna eat, Mary? He does what the Lord says. I mean, this guy, like, well, no wonder you pick a guy like this to oversee your son. He's not perfect in the sense he's not going to ever sin. All men sin at some point. But the guy does the Lord say. Why is it so hard for brethren to do that? Now, they don't argue about Joseph and say he wasn't even married. But here's Joseph, holding, he is doing right. Going, let's go bring forth the temple. Priest got some things to say. Why, Joseph? Because the Lord said so. Not Mary. The Lord said so. Not his mom. Not that. The Lord said so. So it says in verse 24, and to offer a sacrifice according to that which is said in the law of the Lord. Wow, he's going to bring something too. Isn't that amazing? How does he get all these things right? But we can't sing right anymore. Sing will attach to the Holy Child Jesus, words that don't make such sense at all. You know, these guys sing words that drunk men will sing on Christmas Day after they have a few shots of that fifth of gin. They're going to be sounding like the beat-based guys that you hear in church. That's what they're going to be sounding like.
That's right.
I'm telling you now. Isn't that amazing? But these guys claim they're sober on Sunday morning. Round and round, about to have a heart attack, hollering into the microphone. I was like, boy, you kind of stop, fella. You better be careful. You roll over, have to call an ambulance to come pick you up. Sweating. I saw one guy sweating. So I said, bless his heart. Hope he don't pass out. And that shirt was wringing wet almost. Trying to make, man, look, please. What's the matter with you? It's not what the Lord. Brethren, it don't matter how many people you see do. Look at it. Do you know how many people did not do what Joseph did when they had a baby? You know how many people did? There are people that will eat their baby. Jesus spoke, his word spoke of in the Old Testament. You're not going to do all this. Who going to make him? Nobody. The Romans could care less. But he loves the Lord. A pair of turtles, watch this, or two young pigeons. See, the Lord said, okay, you know, you might not have this one, so you got to do this. I'm going to give you an option on this. You don't have that, do the other one. There it is. And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon. And the same was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Ghost was upon him. And it was revealed unto him by the Holy Ghost that he should not see death before he had seen the Lord Christ. Now, you know, Simeon is such a good guy, such a wonderful person. The Lord says, I'm going to bless him. Brethren, make sure we live like this. The Lord loves you so, brethren, and those who are listening to this message, that sometimes the Lord says, I'm going to give you a blessing. Give me a blessing. You're going to be happy to hear this news. And he tells him, I'm not going to let you die till you see the Christ child. But Simeon seen all kind of babies. They bring the babies to him. But he says, I'm going to let you see it. He could have just said, well, before I die, I've seen the Lord said, nah, you're going to know it's him. Look at verse number 27. And he came by spirit into the temple. And when the parents brought the child, Jesus in to do for him after the custom of the law. So the spirit, it's time to go in the temple. It's time. I want you to sin. No man, the spirit. Then I go, he's here, Simeon. No. God, brethren, loves you so that he will do things in your life to help you comprehend and grasp thoughts in the Bible. And I'm sorry to tell you, everybody else not going to see it. And you can tell them and they're not going to accept it sometimes. Do you think Simeon is going to go, oh, this is not the baby because don't nobody else believe it? He can care less than anyone else believes. Why do we do that? I just don't know. Is it something really wrong? Really, is it anything really wrong with you just, you know, sometimes you just have to tell your wife, shut your mouth, I'm going to hit you in your mouth. I mean, what's really wrong with that? I used to see my grandpa do that. I mean, man, sometimes girl get on my last nerve. Oh, man, I'll tell you, I'll be glad to go down because I might not make it. Keep on talking crazy. I might not make it. You see, what's wrong with that clown? I'm a sinner. That's what's wrong. I'm a sinner. And I'm not like Simeon them. I see other grandpa here to her. Somebody in mine, she keep on talking. You don't think people develop mentalities like that? Yes, they do, saints. Yes, they do. For what we see and not what is right. He says, when he came up, verse 20, then took he him up. See, remember, he the one doing the blessing. in his arms and blessed and said, Lord, now let thy servant depart in peace, according to thy word. For mine eyes have seen the salvation. See, not the Savior. This is beautiful, saints. We're almost done. The salvation. See, the reason why Jesus' name is Savior, that's Joshua's name too. But he's God's anointed Savior. David was his anointed king. But he's God's anointed Savior. No one has held those two together. Anointed king, yeah, anointed prophet, anointed Savior. And so what happens is this. Jesus has to be called that. It's important to get this, brethren, because he is salvation. Brethren, we deserve to go to hell if we think there's more than one church. I mean it. We really, we shouldn't, just can hardly wait to go there. It's so important that we go to hell. Because to discredit this great person, Jesus Christ, is an atrocity, brethren. It's ridiculous. To question anything he said, to question that the Bible may have been tampered with, is to say God's too dumb to keep it together. Well, his son is less than him. He's really got to be a dumbo. You think the Lord don't hear us? Bible been tampered with. You think he don't see when we looking at that verse? I think this one of the verses been tampered with. Why wouldn't he put us in hell? Why not? He told the prophet, how can I let this go? He says, what do I do with people like this, Jeremiah? What do you do with people like this? Jeremiah sighed. Gotta kill him. Gotta kill him. Because, brethren, this is off the chain holiness, righteousness, exuberance beyond what your brain could possibly. Our brain can't even hold this type of a thought. So a lot of people got so afraid. They didn't feel not. That's mind-blowing stuff. Let's wrap up. He says, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people. That's everybody. Everybody's got to come to Christ. Muslims should be told in a loving, abrupt fashion, friend, we can't discuss anything. Your denial of Christ kills the whole argument. You're cursed. Your family, your Muhammad, your book, you're cursed. Matter of fact, the law will tell you, how is his word in your mouth, seeing how you hate instruction? Say, now, if you humble yourself, I can teach you what God has in store for you. Sit up there, try to, you going to reason. Would you reason with somebody that say, if you don't get out of my face and click that gun back, I'm going to put all 12 of these in your head. When they look, you gone. All they'll see is your shoes. Or they came off in bare feet. Because, what you going to reason with a guy tell you I'm finna kill you? And the individual tells you Muhammad has a place. How you going to reason? You must go straight to the word and say, no, there's no place for Muhammad in the word. None, friend. You're not holy. Your leaders aren't holy. And no, I'm not going to be silent like prayer. I'm not going to be a part. I'm not listening to you say no prayer. I'm out of here. The boss, I don't care what the boss say, man. You going to pray for me? Please, man. Matter of fact, that's cut out all religion here. Y'all not going to heaven anyway. Cut it all out. Put a big sign up. No talking about Jesus. No, to let him pray. I'm not standing here with it. He's not of the Lord. We need to understand that. How serious are we invested into this holy child, Jesus? How serious? So he says that a light. This is what he is. This is why he's salvation. He is a light to light in the Gentile. I don't know if you've ever went somewhere dark, but the guy with the light is love. Come over here, Bob, with the light, because we can't see. I stepped on something, I don't know what it is. Man, bring the light over here. God's got the light. Everything else is dark. He lightens the Gentiles, the lost. That's what he's going to do. He says it. Simeon says it. And for some reason, saints that are the Jewish belief, like Peter, them don't understand. He's like the Gentiles, man. He can't say them too. And the glory of thy people Israel. He said, I'm going to lighten the Gentile, and I am the glory that you've been waiting on. To Israel. Pull both in together. And Joseph and his mother marvel at those things which spoke him. Mary and Joseph like, man, What? You know, Simeon, old dude, been waiting around here, coming out, grab the baby, start saying, you know, you know, everybody's a marvel. So, you know, what's going on? And Simeon blessed them and said unto Mary his mother, behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel. See, brethren, if you talk from the floor up, you got to fall and then rise up. What do they do condemn housing? Bulldog, flatten it out. If the concrete's still good, they brush it off real good. Check it out. You know, pop, 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 now you start seeing wood a little bit. I got to tear it down first. It's dead. It's tore up. It cannot be you. It cannot be refurbished. It's gone. He says, for many. So, falling and rising, that's a good thing. Tough when you fall, good thing when you lift it up. And so this is what we have to do, brethren. You can't save him until you tear down what he believes. Well, Grandpa, you know, Grandpa's a preacher too. Grandpa's a preacher of foolishness. We're going to tear him down in his doctrine and baptize and build him back up. Now he is preaching righteousness. Before then, no. And so he says here that, and for a sign which shall be spoken again. Did you see that? He's going to be talked about. He's a sign. That's what the prophet, the angels told. He's a sign, but he's going to be talked about. Isn't that sad? Boy, what a prophecy. No wonder people are marveling. Hey, Simeon talking good. What? What? Spoken again? See, your mind is just like that. It's spinning around. Without the understanding of the doctrine, Mary knew, you're like, well, because everything hasn't come together yet. Verse 35, yea, a sword shall pierce through thine also. Now he tells Mary about her. More thorns for the captain. Tell Mary, you too. See, he your baby, but he going to take that same word and run it right through you. And at some point, you got to say, he's God's son. And you find her in the book of Acts, having accepted. And his other brethren, physical family, having accepted. So you got it. He said, it's going to cut straight through you, that the thoughts of many hearts be revealed. It'll cut through you too. You're not going to be, he's going to get to ask my mama. I'm not going to tell, man, police, you better take it to the bank. Jesus told his mama, right from wrong. Take it to the bank. Would you tell yours? Amen. And he'll tell when we won't tell. And so therefore, I end this here. He says clearly, there's a woman. See, God had a man and a woman. I got to read this one because sisters always feel left out. That's because men are evil. And sometimes women just feel left out because they think the church is like the regular world. Verse 36, and there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Aser, which she was of a great age, and she had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity. Wow. Pitiful. 7 years. Could we stay holy after our spouse dies so quick? Not amazing. Still at the church. She ain't out in the streets sinning. Man, Hannah, crazy. Woo. That girl went buck wild after her husband died. Running men, drinking. But she's at the church. And she was a widow of about 84 years, 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayer night and day. Wow, isn't that amazing? That was a young woman at one time. It was a young woman. She ain't married in her 70s. So, yeah, you know. What's a big? She just been, widow 7 years. That's not very long. A few years. Oh, my goodness. Long time. Still righteous. Still righteous. Are we going to do this? Are the sisters going to do it? Are the men going to be like Simeon? Attached to this holy child Jesus, and she coming in an instant, look at her, gave thanks likewise to the Lord, and spake of him to all them that looked for redemption in Jerusalem. She came in, same thing. He and Simeon touched, came up. Oh yeah, going out to man, it's hope now. It's hope. I thought women weren't supposed to say nothing. I thought Joyce Miles and I said, the men were stubborn beasts. Archaic, Neanderthals. I thought the Jew was the worst of the worst. Women can do. See, what's she talking in the temple? You talking? Came in there. Yeah, you know. Let me tell you about him. There's hope. This is him. This is a baby. Oh, crazy old lady gone. No, the crazy old lady knows exactly what she's talking about. And when they had performed all things according to the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee, to their own city, Nazareth. That's why everybody thinks he was born there. See? Find him in Nazareth, young in Nazareth. People just see, sometimes people see a kid and they didn't pay much attention. Oh, that's Mary's boy. Oh, they figured she had the baby, might have went somewhere for a while, and she popped back in, had the baby. And now, no, the baby born in Bethlehem. Because nobody has enough love for Christ to go, where were you born? I don't respect him anyway. The believers, they don't need that. I don't know, we know this is the one. Why do the lost do that better than the same reason you and I did? And that's why we were lost. We're not really looking for the Lord. Some are in the church, just not really. Coming to church with some song. If you ask somebody, if you ask somebody the last song we sang, you ask somebody, hey, what was the last song you sang? And you tell them it was this. What does the song mean to you? You know how many people would not be able to say, I'm drawing, but I just can't say nothing. Because it was just another song, Jesus gave his life for a ransom. Yonder on Calvary, looking at on my Calvary, my true Calvary. Sung it good. Even the song leader made me think about a song. Praise his holy name. Waiting for the game. The game gonna be on a couple hours. Salvation has been brought down. All the glory, singing good. But what does it mean to him? What does it mean to him? Is he invested in it? If I want to cuss you out, do I remember Jesus? I used to be one of the biggest cursed, profane mouths on the earth. So I talk about it a lot. Jesus says, don't curse him out. Don't curse her out. You attached to me. I know they cursed you out. Let it go. I don't want to be a part of this work anymore. Hang on. Work and do what the Lord has said. Because it is holy. Because you're attached to me. I don't want to be a part of this family anymore. I just want to be free. I want to be free. I want to live my life. You robbed my youth. But Jesus said, you're attached to me. Remember I was on the cross for you? All the stuff my family did to keep me alive as a baby, I couldn't even defend myself then. But God sought to keep me alive. So you're attached to me. But you know how the law of how he says, okay, you want to be that way? I'll get you when I see you at the judgment. If you're here, you're not a member of the church, you need to get baptized. If you listen to this message, I'm telling you now about the power of God. If you're a Baptist, Catholic, Methodist, Muslim, or Buddhist, your soul is lost. It's only by the grace of God that we don't laugh in people's face when they talk about things like Vishnu. It's all about God's strength. We don't bust all that. Sometimes when you leave, it is comedy day. When you review in your mind what they say, oh, man, how can you think that? That was so ridiculous. It doesn't even make logical sense. It doesn't even make logic. Can't cross the logic bar. It's so dumb. To think that a man could turn to an animal and back to a man, animal, man, that's comical. But he's got more money than you could dream of. But money can't save you. You got saints in the church. If you got enough money and you got enough things, or if you're broke and don't have anything, those two spectrums, for some reason people gravitate. He's poor, he must be holy. They're rich, they must be holy. It's like the people who just live, it's like, you're nothing. Because I'm carnal. Either you're dead broke, or you're filthy rich, and then I can gravitate to you. A lot of that happens. Because you're poor because you love the Lord, you're suffering for Christ, or you're rich because he has blessed you and he loves you. It's ridiculous, either thought. It's nothing to do with things. How you look, the color of your skin, what your building looks like, what your home looks like, how well you speak, or if you split verbs like a man splits wood. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, if you invested, act like you invested. Let's live like we invested. Let's work in the church like we invested. Let's love like we invested. Jesus said, he that believes that he died, buried, on the third day he rose again. 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4. He says in Mark 16 and 16, he that believes and is baptized shall be saved. He that believes not shall be damned. There's more debates on that than you can shake a stick at. Such a ridiculous thought. Shake the dust and walk off. Peter preaches in Acts 2. They ask, verse 37. Very simple question. Men and brethren, what shall we do? Change and be baptized, every one of you. That includes a whole group there. Jew, And if a Gentile hang around, anybody there? He said, dwellers of Jerusalem, anybody hanging around, you could have heard that. Every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ, for the remission of sins, you shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. Why? For the promise to you, this is the promise, and to your children, all that are far, even the men of the Lord our God shall call. With many other words, he testifies. What? Save yourself. Why? Because Jesus is the Savior. That's what his name means. From this untoward, this perverted generation, Jew and Gentile together perverted, like a snake with two colors. He says, perverted generation. Then they that gladly received were baptized, the same day 3,000 souls were added unto them. So what did they continue? Here we should look at the Sanskrit note. Verse 42, the apostles' doctrine, the fellowship, which is to walk in the light of Christ. You just can't repeat the apostles' doctrine, walk in the light of Christ, the fellowship, the breaking of bread and prayers. And the Lord added to the church daily such should be saved. If you believe that, then the eunuch, it makes sense why Philip doesn't turn flips when he says, here's water. In Acts chapter 8, he says, if you believe it all your heart. See, Philip is a polished teaching. No, you can't believe it all your heart. Something else I got to tell you. You just can't get in the water. If you do, it don't mean anything. If you plan on the law, because I'm not saving. See, if there was Philip just say, you ready? Come on, let's get in the water. Philip rubs it out with water. The water's holding. He comes out. He's ready. But it's the Spirit of God. We learn in 1 Corinthians 12 and 13. But by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, for the Jew, Gentile, bond, free, and have all been made to drink into one Spirit. If you believe that, then embrace the thought. Hold on to the thought. And accept there's only one church also. Only one church. Colossians 1:18 says his body. How many bodies does Jesus have? The representation of the church as the same as the physical. The 4th chapter of Ephesians. There is but one body. That's it. You're not going to be saved waiting. You think, well, I'm young. You're not going to be saved. You're young. Young people die all the time. I've seen little caskets and big caskets. Mid-size, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They make them any size you want. Custom made for you, too. Right where your toes fit right in. No matter. Because flesh dies. If we understand that, then we can embrace that this message is for all that all fall, Peter said. That means T.D. Jakes, other guys teaching incorrect information. That's the way it is. If we believe that. Peter explains salvation is met in baptism. 1 Peter 3:21-22, the like figure, where even baptism does also non-save us. Not the putting away the filth of the flesh. It's the answer of a good conscience toward God by the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Well, who's gone to heaven? What is his post? He's at the right hand of God. What is his power over all principalities, all authority? Anything that has rule, Jesus is above it. He's right there under God. There's nothing else between him and God. We believe that now we can embrace this great Savior who could kill us at an instant or allow us to live. It says in Revelation 2:10, behold, the devil shall cast some of you in prison. Not him. He didn't say it's me. The devil shall cast some of you in prison. He says clearly. So you have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death. That's why the devil gets a lot of us, saints, in that imprisonment. The tribulation. Whatever it is, that's where he gets a lot of us. I can't take it no more. I'm through. Leave me, Jesus. And then Satan comes and comforts. Come on, let me bring you some water. See, he didn't even give you no water. Let me bring you this. It's going to be all right. I'm going to let you out of here pretty soon. You're going to get out. Don't worry. But see, the Lord said, be faithful unto death. So the devil will come and tell you, man, he's not letting you out. You got to die to get out of here. Well, okay, then die I shall. If you invested in this child, Jesus, the Savior, then you have salvation. You can have it right now. If you want to get baptized now, you can. If you're listening to the message, you can get baptized. Call the number. We will contact the right people. If you're here in the church now, though, you're here, you're listening to this message, and you have gotten off track of the Lord, come back before it's too late, because he's coming quickly. That was the last thing said in Revelation. Behold, Lord, and John encourages, come quickly. Come now together, we stand and sing heaven's invitation. Tenderly Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. Beyond the water he's waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home, come home, ye who are weary, come home.
Calling.